What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Candid Convos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Vince on deck. Say what's up to the people.
Hello, hello.
Hey everybody.
Hey. Let's see. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. What's good with you, Vince? How you doing, man?
Doing very well.
All right, good. Appreciate you, John, coming back, rocking with us, man. I know we had to take a break last week when we back in full effect, so appreciate you coming back out with us, man.
Yes, sir.
Um, but yeah, shout out to everybody watching us right now. Shout out to my guy Rodney representing Lansing up there. Rodney, we still a little salty about that game, bro. I need you to go talk to your boys over at the stadium, man. Get them in order, man. All right, so we back for another Wednesday. Got another great topic. I think we got any housekeeping tonight. No housekeeping tonight. We're gonna get into. But I said we are live right now on Facebook, on YouTube as well. I said we have the link to join the panel in the chat feeds. I'll also throw it up on the screen as well. Got an interesting little topic tonight. So, like I said, I would definitely love it if some folks would join us on the panel tonight. Let's say because I want to get everybody's perspective, on the topic for tonight. Let me swing over to my guy Vince. Got anything for us tonight, Vince? What you got, man?
After Dolce and Gabbana, light blue.
Oh,
You see,
we see it. There
nice
it is.
frosty bottle. Has a lighter scent. Airy, summery,
Okay.
islandy type of scent. It's a good one. Dolce and Gabbana light blue.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Yeah, so let's say to the fellas watching. Like I said, Vince blesses us, with the fragrance of the day every Wednesday. And like I said, we do that segment, like I said, paying homage to Kevin Samuels. He used to do that segment on his show as well, but also we do it because we want to equip the young fellas. Like I said, we focus a lot on the relationship between the black man and the black woman. And one of the things that the ladies have always stated is that it is very important that the man that they are around or the man that they're interested in smells good. Yeah, so we want to make sure we can help equip these young fellas out here, with some fragrances to, help step their game up, make them a little more marketable to the young ladies out here. And then too, like I said, help stimulate these ladies out here. All right. Let's see. Got comments coming in. Rodney says, shout out to all the five-figure brothers. You know what, Rodney? We're gonna have that combo on another show, man. That post got a little hot. I think we start creeping towards almost 100 comments on that thing, man. Yeah, we was at 79, almost 80 comments. So we're gonna swing back around that topic because I think we need to get as many people on the panel and hash that out. That's still a problem. But we're gonna swing back to that one, man. But yeah, shout out to the five-figure brothers out here for sure. All right. So let's get on into this. Like I said, we got the link for the panel up on the screen as well, so you can see it. Let's get on into this topic. Topic for tonight: Black men are controlling and toxic. I'm gonna run that back. Black men are controlling and toxic. So let me keep it real with y'all. So I know it used to be every couple years. I said, and I'm sure Chloe can co-sign. It used to be every couple years we had some buzzword, right? I remember a year it was slapping. Everything was slapping, right? Now we in current day, we just went through the whole toxic masculinity. That was the hot term. Everybody's using that term, right? Now we got this controlling stuff popping up. Talking about men being controlling. It's like I keep hearing this left and right. So we got to get into this topic tonight. Like I said, I actually got a couple videos Yeah, I got a couple of videos, but we're gonna get on into this topic. So let me queue up real quick. Yeah, I had my stuff up. It's like it disappeared on me. Yeah, give me 1 sec. I don't know what happened to all my stuff. And yeah, while I got y'all sitting here, definitely, like I said, run over to the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube. Like I said, drop a subscribe for us. We're trying to get our subscriber count up. Like I said, just to help increase our exposure. So definitely do that for us. A little favor if you don't mind. Like I said, so we can just, increase our reach to as many of our people as we can. All right, here we go. Y'all let me know if y'all can't hear this.
Very thin line between being controlling and being abusive.
Abuse and control is the same thing. Controlling is a form of abuse, in my opinion.
It absolutely
is. Sorry guys, I've been in a situation where I've been in a physically abusive relationship, and I've been in a relationship that has been emotionally abusive and mentally abusive, which is controlling. And I can 100% say that the controlling mental abuse affected me way longer than the physical abuse did.
Absolutely.
Because it puts your mind in a different type of way.
But can the control be good though?
No.
Yeah, it can.
Let's say you.
But it's good. It's not control. If I sit up here and if my man is good at organization, he knows, and he leads me. He's so good at it. I'm like, I've got to know how you do this, and he's showing me what to do. And he said, no, you're doing it wrong. Do it like this. Mm-hmm. That's not controlling. My man is literally teaching me. Yeah. When you sit up here and say, now do this or do that, do this. Yeah. Now you're controlling me. It's never good. That's never a good thing.
All right. So that was video 1. So I'm gonna follow that up with another one. Like I said, shout out to the Lapeef Network. So definitely check them out on YouTube. Shout out to JR, Anton Daniels. Let's say repping Lapeef Network. Let's say that's who we are for the context for tonight's discussion. Let's say so. Shout out to them and definitely go check them out. So I'm gonna throw a video number 2. And we're gonna get on into this. All right. Just gotta make sure it was running. All right, so we're gonna do video number 2. So would you just remember that first video?
Go ahead, Veronica.
Siobhan, I agree with what you say. And I think the word control, it just triggers me. Yes, Anton, it just triggers me, especially when you've been in a relationship with a man that is a control freak, that tries to manipulate you mentally, physically. It just, I think when men try to be controlled and women insecurities on their part, both parties in a relationship, they've been raised. You don't have to control anybody to do anything. All you can do is just suggest. That's it.
No, you're going to do what the fuck I told you to do when I told you to do it.
Oh, no, the fuck I ain't.
Yes, and you know, the interesting thing about it is not only are you going to do it, but you're going to love it. You're going to Let me tell you what I see right now, Veronica.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I see.
Okay.
I see a woman that is truly outside of her femininity right now. Mm-hmm. Because the interesting thing about it is that the reason why you're so jacked up and combative, right? You're trying to meet me with your energy is because you don't know what it truly feels like to be submissive, not made to be submissive, but willingly submissive to a dude that put you in your feminine energy. And so you're so used to defending yourself, and it may not even be your fault. The reality is that when you get in that space, you want to be controlled because what it allows you to do is truly fall into your true nature. See, you're not meant to be out here competing with me. Your body ain't even built to be able to withstand the things that I can withstand. And so as a result, what I see is a woman that has been made, whether society made her or environment or whatever it is, you are operating in your masculine energy because you are competing and you are surviving. But when you thrive, when women thrive, see, y'all true power is not in competing with men. The power of a woman is in her femininity. You can get a man to do anything you want if you lean closer into that femininity instead of trying to compete with me. So what you want to be is controlled. You want to be controlled a certain type of way, but you want to be controlled so that I can enable you and I can empower you, right? Because I'm not trying to put you in a space to where you be my little puppy. I'm trying to unleash you. I'm trying to figure out where your power points are, baby girl. And so you're going to have to calm down. And the reason why you need to calm down is because I'm going to put you in that good space. I'm going to put you in a position of power. You want to be used. Your body is made to be used. You are a helpmeet. And so what I'm trying to convince you of is I'm not trying to compete with you because I'm already better than you in the ways that men are naturally better than women. I'm trying to show you where your true power is. And it ain't with trying to meet me energy with energy, fire with fire. It's with you starting to calm down so that I can then empower you and show you where your true nature is. And so you can really become the woman that you need to be. A certain type of guy, he gonna unlock you. And so you want to be controlled. You just don't want to be overpowered and abused. It's a difference. But you do want to be controlled. I guarantee you do. Because it is going to make you the best woman and it's going to put you in the greatest state. And you don't want to be out here competing with us. You want to be out here doing what it is that women are supposed to do. Not what they're doing in 2022, what they did in 1950. It's a good state to be in. Please don't reject it. It's the best thing for you, baby girl.
Hold on, man.
All right. So, topic for tonight: Black men are controlling and toxic. So I saw my guy Rodney dropping some comments. Clearly, he was not in agreement with what Mr. Daniels was saying. I don't know if I need to get you up on the panel, Rodney, but so yeah. So we had two videos. First video, I think her name is Randy Rosario. She's from Detroit. So she was talking about, abuse and control is the same thing. Abuse and control is definitely not the same thing. So I don't even know where she was getting that from. So I got to go ahead and call cap on that one. Let's see. Rodney says my wife wouldn't go for that ever. Okay. He also says, let's see. I might need to join. Let me get my son to bed. All right, Rodney, we'll be standing by. Let me know when you need the link, man. But yeah, so she said that abuse and control was the same thing. I definitely don't agree with that at all. They are not the same. Then we get into the second video, and Anton is talking to the young lady, and I want to point something out that I think is a part of the issue, right? Because I do think people have control misconstrued. Right, there's a misunderstanding of what control is, and for some people, what it even looks like. But the young lady Veronica, she said something. That was the young lady I was talking with to Anton. She said something that was very concerning, right? And I hear this word a lot lately. And she said the word control, it triggers her. Yep, and I sometimes wonder, is that the problem, right? Because it seems like, I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it a lot now. We got so much triggering going on. It's like every time somebody says something, somebody getting triggered. Yep, and sometimes I wonder, are we getting triggered for the wrong reasons or over the wrong things? Make this comment real fast. So see, Kenyatta said abuse and control are totally different. There are different levels of control. Okay, no, I can agree with that. I can agree with that, Kenyatta. And shout out to Kenyatta for joining us tonight. So I want to have this conversation. Because at the end of the day, there's another video that I may put up. We'll see how time goes. There's another video that I may put up where the gentleman is saying that control is a part of leadership, right? And, ladies swear up and down. Like I said, I see the conversations all the time. Ladies today swear up and down that they want a man that can lead, right? So according to what the ladies are saying, it ain't no dudes out here leading. Everybody just running amok, right? So they want a man that can lead. But then at the same time, ladies are saying that they don't want to be controlled. So I need somebody to make that make sense for me. So I'm gonna open this floor up. Chloe, Vince, like I said, we get into the topic: black men are controlling and toxic. So give me your thoughts on what y'all saw. Either video. Let's say we're just gonna get into it. Just get this last comment. Control is a form of management. In life, there can be mismanagement. It's true as well. It's true as well, Donovan. Donovan, appreciate that comment, brother. So yeah, Chloe, Vince, what y'all think? What y'all think about this video? What y'all think about the topic?
Well, so I don't agree necessarily with the young lady's her comments or her POV in the first video. Controlling, and what did she say was the same? It's
Abuse.
Escaping me. Yeah, abuse and control is not the same. If you look up the definition of control, which of course I had to, the actual definition is to have power to influence or direct people's behavior or course of events, right? So that in and of itself is not a negative thing, right? It's not a bad thing to be in control of a project at work or to have control over, the way that your household runs and the flow of your household, which is what a man who is leading his household would have. He would have control over the structure and the flow of the household, which he is in charge of. He is in control of that. He's running that. I think the problem comes in, people get it, and I believe Siobhan later in that same show mentions that people get it misconstrued. Like a lot of times people will say a person is controlling when it's more so because they don't understand their roles. They don't really understand what place they should be in. So a man can come off as controlling if you don't understand who you are. And I think that's what Anton was trying to say. Now, maybe you can argue about the way he said it, but I believe what he was trying to say is if you know your role, if you are operating in your feminine energy, then you're going to want to submit to a man who can lead and can be in control of the situation so that you don't have to worry about these things. There are things that he's going to have to worry about in his role that you're thankfully not going to have to concern yourself with. And a man who is supposed to be your covering will protect you from those things. And those will be, concerns and worries or anxieties that you can let go of because he's got it. He's going to control it. He's going to handle it. And if you have the right mindset and the right understanding of what that looks like, then you'll understand that when control and power, when it is abused, then yes, it can be a bad thing. But just control in and of itself, and a man having control over the flow of your family structure, or is not a bad thing. I think that we're getting that mixed up a lot. I think the language maybe is sometimes where women get caught up. When a man says something like, you're going to do what I tell you to do and you're going to like it, right? I think maybe that language, if a woman is already struggling to rest in her feminine energy, then a man saying something like that is really going to bug her. But a woman who is, who understands who she is in her role and is comfortable resting in her feminine energy, when a man says that, it's not going to have that effect on you, especially if it's your man. It'll actually have the opposite effect because, you trust that man and he's your covering. So you understand when he says that, it's not him lording anything over you. It's not him, using the fact that he's in this head role or that he's the executive of the family. It's not him taking that power and then abusing it. That's not what it's about. A man who is doing this lovingly, you will want to follow his lead. You actually will want to do what he tells you to do because you trust him. You trust what he tells you to do, and you're going to want to do it because you know it's going to go well for you. So I just think that it's the language sometimes that women kind of struggle with. But the truth is, if you are operating in your feminine energy, then it's really not a problem. And it's really your mindset that has to change. This is my opinion.
I got a couple thoughts on that. No, Anton is dead serious. I mean, I know Anton, we're friends. No, he dead serious, but he's also been married for 18 years. So it seems like they have a very good, relationship. So,
Right.
then also to understand the issue of control, I look at it as I asked my wife, "Am I controlling?" And she was like, "Aren't you supposed to be?" So I look at it like if you're going on a long trip and you driving the car, I'm driving the car. I have control of the car. I have the steering wheel. I have control of the car. No, we don't both have control. I have control of the car. I have the steering wheel. If I want to run us off the road, I'll do that. If I want to stay on the road, I'll do that. Her position is to keep me up and to support me on the way to where we're going. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a long trip and you driving and you need your partner to keep you up, to play the right song on the radio, to give you directions, to make sure you're not falling asleep. And he's saying that's the position that she wants to be in. My wife doesn't want to drive the car. She don't want that responsibility. She want to sit back and support me in driving the car. And I think that it's triggering because we've put so many negative connotations on words like submissive.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that the controlling and this toxic thing, then it's, we have these trick toxic and narcissists and all these different things that you said. So
you can't make this shit up.
I think people
can't make this shit up.
Words, what their personal experience has been. So, I know Anton was dead serious. He said what he meant to say. You'll love it. And my wife loves it. She would, well, we both, you could pay me to be out here and be single. Control me, baby. Because as you're controlling me, my life is better.
Right.
Same.
There it is. No, so let me ask this question. I see we got a couple ladies joining us right now. And I said definitely hit that share button, hit that like button. So my question is this. At the end of the day, in a relationship where we have a man that is leading the relationship, leading the household, leading the family, if you will, there is a level of control that is going to take place, right? But when I hear a young lady say that she's triggered when she hears the word control, sometimes I wonder if that's because women these days want to do all the controlling.
Yeah.
If anybody down in the comments, drop a comment and let me know if that's what we're seeing. Women prefer to be in control or control the relationship. So drop a comment, let me know. But that's what it's starting to seem like to me, right? Because we've done some shows in the past, and I remember on one of our previous shows there was a point where I asked the question, do women want to be straightened out? And one of the comments that we got was, yeah, straighten me out, right? That's a level of control. So when I hear those types of things, but then at the same time, I hear a young lady say, and I'm talking current day young ladies, when I hear a young lady say she's triggered by the word control, for me, that doesn't add up. Because at the end of the day, ladies are demanding a level of control from their men. So what triggering? What would be the triggering thing, about something that you, as the young lady, is actually requesting of a man. Because I said, I hear that a lot. Yeah, ladies are talking about these guys don't lead. They want a man that leads. They looking for a leader. But with that leader comes a level of control. So then we can't come back in the same breath and now say we triggered by that. Like, that doesn't add up to me. You want to say something, Chloe?
I mean, I think that the triggering thing comes from a place of, um, I think there's multiple reasons why they're getting triggered by that. I agree with you. There are a lot of women who are saying, a man, I want a man to lead me, but he has to lead me the right way. He has to know how to lead. And I guess for me, the thing is a woman cannot tell a man how to lead. When Tom made the comment about there's just certain things that women can do that men can do better. I'm sorry, that he said that men can do better than women. That's true. There's also things that women can do better than men. Like, this is a fact. Okay, we're not talking feelings right now, ladies. We're just talking facts. And the facts are there are feminine traits. If you are operating in your feminine energy, there are things that you can do better than a man, right? In that energy. And then there are things that a man can do when he's operating in his masculine energy that we as women, we can't do. There's a reason for that. We're supposed to complement each other. That's the point. We complement each other. So where I may be deficient in some areas, then my man balances me out. Where he's deficient in some areas, I balance him out. This is a fact. This is not about feelings. Nobody is saying that you are not a whole person if you don't have a man. But we're saying, though, the best version of yourself is when you are in a relationship with your man. And I'm not going to get into any other kinds of relationships because that's not what I do. Okay. When you are in a relationship with your man and woman, then that is the best version. Man, that's the best version of you. And you can dispute me all you want. We complement each other. So the best version of a man is when he has a woman, a helpmeet, and a compliment. The best version of a woman is when she has a man operating in his masculine energy to cover her. Period. Point blank. That's a fact. Not feelings. That's a fact. We can dance all around that thing all we want to, but it still just is what it is. And I think some of this triggering is because women, like you said, they want to be in control. They want to tell a man how to lead them. And so when these men are presenting themselves, it's not this. Some of these men, okay, maybe they are toxic, but then there are men who aren't. Every man is not toxic. And first, understand what the definition of toxic is. By the way, toxic is poisonous, very harmful, unpleasant, pervasive, and insidious. Okay? Some of the men y'all dealing with don't even know what insidious is. So let's stop throwing around the word toxic because it's the buzzword for 2022. Like, we have to stop doing that. Some of the things that we're saying, ladies, is actually we're projecting our own problems and our own insecurities and our issues onto other people. We're projecting them, and we have to stop doing that. Another thing is, I wonder sometimes is part of the reason why women don't understand what leadership looks like. So for them, it reads as control because they haven't had that. They didn't have a father. They didn't have a representative in the home of a man to show them what that looks like. So then when a man comes and he's this strong personality and he wants to run things and he wants to lead, they're like, oh no, this doesn't feel right to me. Because they've never seen it. They don't know what it feels like. So for them, they're like, what is this? I don't like this, right? Because our first reaction to any kind of change or anything that's different is to, kind of go no, to resist it. But all change is not bad. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't always mean always. Sometimes it is. But it doesn't always mean that it's a bad thing. I think that you have to be able to discern the difference. And if you are operating with any kind of trauma anyway from past experiences, then it's going to be hard for you to tell the difference. So a man saying something like, I'm going to lead you and you're going to actually enjoy me leading you would trigger you because you don't even understand what that actually practically means or what it looks like.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me get this comment. Shout out to Erica for joining us. She said, I think single women are more triggered by the word because they're not used to being led because they are currently independent. Yeah, Erica, we're gonna have to touch this too. This whole independent thing. Because I'm trying to see what's the, is it really independent or is it just adulting? Yeah, we slanging this independent term around, you know what I'm saying, like it's meaning something. And I'm like, when I see independent, it's just a person being a responsible adult. But we're gonna say that for another show. But I appreciate that comment, appreciate you joining us. And like I said, appreciate you for that share as well. Let's see, Rodney said, I don't know what it means. Let's see, I don't know what it means myself. Well, there it is. Let's see. Erica said all change is definitely not bad. And that's correct. Let me ask this question. I say, going back to the video, second video, Anton and Veronica. Anton made some good points where he said that Veronica was essentially was trying to match up or compete with him. And I'm trying to understand, where is that coming from? Why are women today competing with men? Yep, and what I mean by that is we are two different creations. Yeah, there's things that men can do that women cannot. There's things that women can do that men cannot. And that's just the natural order. That's just the natural creation. So when do we start competing with each other? Yeah, when did a woman and a man start competing in a relationship on who's going to lead? Yeah, when did a man and a woman start competing in a relationship on who's going to have the upper hand or who going to control? Like, when did we get to that point? I'm trying to understand, because like I said, we got a lot of conflicts between Black men and Black women. And the more conversations we have, I'm starting to see these breakdowns. Yeah, we not competition. We're supposed to be a unit. Yeah, we're supposed to be supporting each other. That was the whole design. Yeah, but now it's like we're competing. Yeah, we're competing, financially. We're competing to see who's going to run a household. And it's like, I wonder if we realize it would be so much easier if we just played our positions. I mean, let me give you guys a comparison. I mean, you didn't see, I go back to the old Bulls team. You didn't see Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman competing for positions. Yeah, you didn't see, for my Detroit people, you didn't see Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer competing for positions. It wasn't happening, because Isaiah had a position to play and Bill had a position to play. And essentially, that's how they won their championships. They won because they played their positions and played them well.
It's funny.
So I'm trying to figure out, why do we think that somehow we're going to get so much farther by competing with each other? Let me go to my guy Vince on this one, man. Vince, where you think all this competition stuff is coming from, man? What you think on that, man?
It's funny that you use the example of Michael Jordan, because I always say in my relationship, my wife is Michael Jordan and I'm Phil Jackson. I'm the coach and she's my star player.
Right.
And there is no competition. There's coaching and then there's playing. I'm not a player. She's not a coach. I'm the coach. She's the player. And that's just the way it is. It works for us. And I think a lot of it comes with this competition. Is that's because the society pushes that, especially for black women. You know, it pushes that you can be the warrior princess, you can be the queen king. You can have kids without a father. You don't need a daddy. All you got to do is go down to a sperm donor. So there's a level of respect that has been lost in the black community. There's I have women half my age talking to me like I'm on their level, with no respect for male authority. Uh, so I think a lot of it has to do with there's no uh, authoritative men around. There's no leader men around. So if all you had was very strong, very aggressive, very domineering women, it's going to be hard for you to respect a man. It just unless you've had that experience. And then if you dealt with lesser men, then it's going to be hard for you to have that respect. So it begins there, but the media also pushes that. The media pushes that we're separate. We're black men and black women. We're not black people. Because when did it come to a point where we have to fight for the same thing? Well, black women need an agenda. Well, if black men have an agenda, you are women. So if they push us ahead, then we're automatically, but we don't think like that.
Right.
People think, well, if they give it to the man, then I'm just out here because we've been separated. So I think that has a lot to do with it. It's a level of respect that is lost.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man. No, I feel that. And then too, another thing that you hear, like I said, as we, kind of touch on this whole competition aspect of it and challenging these men and all of this whole, this whole thing. Another thing you will hear is a lot of young ladies today will start to say that they are tired. And I'm like, sometimes I wonder, like, sis, are you tired because you are out of your natural position? Yep, going back to the video when Anton, told Veronica, she gonna like it. He ain't lying. Yeah, like I said, when you get into your natural position and play it well, you will like it. Let's see. Rodney said, "I'm tired too." Hey, it is what it is, Rodney. It is what it is, man. We gonna get there on this show, brother. We gonna get there on this show, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we got to get this stuff figured out. Yeah, we got to get this stuff figured out. Yeah, I said now we're at a phase now where our women are going around saying that we as black men are controlling and toxic. Yep, and what I'm seeing while the name calling is going on, I'm seeing fellas actually stepping their game up. Yep, and saying now I want to take my position. Yep, I do want to lead. I got my money up. I got my resources together. Now I'm looking for my better half. Now I'm looking for my wife. And now that's the conflict we're running into. Yeah, because, we still got some of our sisters talking about they don't need a man. And we had some comments about that earlier. Some of our sisters still talking about they don't need a man. Some of our sisters talking about somebody trying to control them. They triggered all this and all of that. And we just continue to keep missing each other. It's like we can't get here. We just keep doing this. Mm-hmm. And it be something new every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I always have to go back to what I will always ask the ladies who watch the show. Ladies, how do y'all want this to go? Yeah, do you want to keep or continue labeling these fellas as controlling and toxic? Because I'm starting to think a lot of y'all don't even know what toxic is. But do you want to continue labeling these guys controlling and toxic? Do you want to continue telling these dudes they ain't making enough money, they ain't tall enough? Or do y'all actually want to turn this corner with these fellas and get y'all a husband?
I have a question too, like for ladies, like, and I know we're talking about black men, but I'm just curious. And if any ladies would like to, I'm reading Erica. Okay, y'all gotta see, I'm reading the comments. But no, I'm curious, ladies, like, is it not toxic for you to have a mindset that says, I want a man to lead me, but I need to tell him how to lead me. You gotta lead me a certain way. Is it not toxic for you to say, I'll submit to a man, but he's got to meet this particular criteria? Is that not okay? Maybe not toxic, but is that, if bare minimum, is that controlling? Are you being controlling? Am I saying those things? Is it controlling of you as a woman to say, I can't date a man unless he's 6 feet tall, 6 figures, and has 6 inches? I won't even entertain a guy that doesn't have those things. Is that not controlling? I mean, this is what I meant earlier about when I was saying projecting. Sometimes we have these things within ourselves and we're projecting them onto other people because we haven't done a self-analysis to see where we could be making some changes. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm at the point where I know we need to have these conversations, right? Because it brings awareness. But at the same time, I don't want to talk about the problems without also providing some type of solutions. And the biggest thing I think that needs to change in this particular type of conversation, the toxic masculinity, the controlling, this conversation, the submission conversation, is the mindset. Like, the mindset needs to change. Ladies, your mindset needs to change. Period.
Facts.
The truth is, I don't want to compete with a man. I don't want to have to go out there and do what men are expected to do, especially black men. I don't want to be, name somebody, name another person in the whole entire world that want to be in the position a black man is in. Nobody. The only person fighting for the black man's position is the black woman. That's some crazy-ish. Nobody else would switch places with a black man. No one but the black woman. That's crazy. So maybe you're toxic. Maybe you're controlling. And maybe your mindset needs to change. And I don't say that. I say that with love, because we cannot make any kind of progress until we start with us. So, I mean, I challenge the ladies to, I challenge the ladies to, do the work, right? I challenge the ladies to actually, turn those same thoughts, turn them around and apply them to yourself and check yourself and see if maybe there are any areas where you might be toxic or any ways where you might be controlling.
Real talk. Listen, I was going to ask that question. While we calling all these fellas toxic out here, is it actually the ladies that's toxic? We're going to come back to that. What's going on, Rodney? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Sorry, I had to get my son put to bed, but I've been listening. So
it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Like I said, that was we was mad at you about that game, but it's all good, man.
that's gonna have to be a topic for another show.
For sure. So
I
talk
still
to
got
us.
some research to do on that one, man.
No doubt,
But
no doubt. So talk to us, man. What you thinking?
no, I mean, I think a couple of things. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but I agree with what a lot of said. I do think it depends on the individual, um, as far as the woman and the man, as far as how they, the type of energy that they get from one another. The reason you saw me put the comments earlier about my wife would never go for that and things like that, because after knowing her for 21 years and being married almost 14, I know that what he was describing would not work for her. So that type of man would not work. Um, the other thing I guess I was gonna say, as far as just the relationships in general between the black man and the black woman, I'm gonna sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but I do think there's a strong attempt to break down the family unit, and specifically
Thanks.
relationships between black women and black men. Um, so that's why you saw me put the comment when Chloe said about the 6 figures, 6 feet, and I commented. I said I'm 5'7". I said I'm 5 figures, and I didn't answer the last part, but and I'm married. So that doesn't necessitate. That's not something that all women. I don't believe that narrative is all black women. I think my personal opinion is that there are some black women who think that, and then the narrative is being pushed like all black women think like that. Because if that was the case, when my wife met me, I was unemployed. I was in the process of looking for a job. I don't think she would have given me a chance if I wasn't trying to find a job. You know what I'm saying? But I was unemployed.
So let me say
I'm
this.
never gonna be 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Yeah. So let me say this. I don't think that it is all black women, right? So of course we can never say all because we don't know everybody, right? But the reason that some of these statements are made is because, especially for me in particular, right? So I sit in a lot of these conversations, right? So I see a lot of young ladies saying a lot of these things consistently. Um, so yeah, that's why I will communicate those things, because I said this is what is being stated, right, by a lot of our a lot of our women today, as they're looking for mates and so forth, right? Um, and it is becoming or it is, yeah, it's becoming more of, because see, you spoke about something, Rodney, that I think is important that we have to identify, right? So you said that at that time, essentially, you were unemployed, right? But your wife, or I guess your girlfriend at the time, however it went, she saw something else. She saw something else, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna ride this out, and we're gonna make it do what it do." That's the difference. See, today it's not about Rodney the man. Today it's more of Rodney's salary. Then after Rodney's salary, then we get to Rodney the man. And see, for me, that's backwards. Because see, money goes and come, that goes or comes and goes, as they say. But character does not. So
but
your money, yeah, that can be a compliment to what we're trying to do. That can be an addition to what we're trying to do. But I need your character and your morals and your standards to be on point first before we even get to the money.
but I agree with you. But I think, and I don't know. I mean, I would definitely be interested in hearing people's thoughts. I think that's a societal issue, because, my opinion, what you just said, that should be obvious. So how did we? That should be obvious. Like, my just putting some of our business out there. My wife came out of college 6 figures. So, and when I did get a job, I was a teacher. You know, six figure wasn't even an option. You know, I was just happy not to be making minimum wage. So, where did we get this narrative? Because when we come talking about the control thing, the reason I keep you hear me keep talking about the money issue, because I do think there is an unfair correlation between how much you make and how much control you have in a relationship. And that's why I keep bringing up my relationship with my wife. She came when she moved from El Paso to Michigan. She got her master's in 1 year. Quick. Got her job, six figures out of the gate. I was unemployed at the time. You know, so I'm saying she could have looked over me, but she saw that I was trying to get my stuff together. And I did. And I've taught for a while, and obviously we ended up getting married and having 2 kids and so on. So she would have missed out on someone, and I love her and I appreciate her because she is making big moves at Michigan State, you know, but then she's powerful enough and confident enough in herself and our relationship to still let me lead the home, because she's leading all day at Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? But then she still allows me to lead the home, and well, I'll say this real quick, and then I want to hear your thoughts. But when, at least because I talked about like what my role is in leading, and we talked about it. And I view leading by example, not do this, do the dishes, don't do that. Like that's not leading. Is okay. If we're gonna be a Christian family, I need to be the main one doing what Christ says. I'm just using that as an example.
I got you.
So that's but I'm finding out that that's not what people mean by leading. Leading is I'm ordering what I think my wife wants for dinner. I'm telling her what to do. I'm telling her, you know what I'm saying? And some people have a twisted view of that. And it's like not that at all, because flat out things that my wife just does better than I am. I'm a musician. I'm a free spirit. I'm not organized. I'm not the best with money. Those aren't strengths of mine, but that's why we work well together, because those are strengths of hers, you know. So
Right, but I mean, even some of the points that you just made, listen, I appreciate you being transparent with us. Even some of the points that you just made is a part of leadership, man. So you're talking about the fact that you and your wife complement each other, right? So a leader knows how to, and let me just say this. Leadership is not for everybody, but at the same time, a leader knows how to put the right people around him or her, you know, essentially put the right people around in that situation, right? Because the leader may not be the smartest person in the room. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, a leader will position himself around people or position people around him to essentially complement and meet the end goal, right? So yeah, just listening to what you're saying, you know, you guys complement each other. Yeah, but that is not a threat to your leadership, right? That's actually smart, because let's say you're not always going to be the best at everything there is that needs to get taken care of, right? That's not realistic. But you know, just to kind of to circle back, I think we're in a different time where, you know, young ladies do not have the same views as what you're describing that your wife had, you know, in your earlier days. Like I said, a lot of things have become financially based. You know, it is now the utmost importance of the salary, you know, thus the post that I made yesterday, you know, talking about the 6 figures and, you know, why are ladies having a hard time dating or entertaining a man that makes less than 6 figures? You know, there's a lot of great men that fall under the 6-figure. I'll mute you for a minute, Vince. There's a lot of great men that fall under the 6-figure, you know, salary mark. A lot of great men. I think the national average is, you know, around 40K, somewhere between 40 and 50K. You know, we're at a point in 2022 where ladies are saying they don't want to entertain majority of the men that are available.
And that's I don't know how I can put this, but I think that's the point. So
Right.
you got all these, and I don't know what percentage of women, I'm not gonna say that, want this 6 figures, 6 feet. You know, I don't know, but from a realistic standpoint, that is very few men. That's very few white men. We're just gonna be real, and even less. You know what I'm saying? So what is wrong with someone that makes 45,000 a year? Because I might be stepping out on a limb here, but I mean, $1,000 might get you $100,000 worth of problems. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't necessarily mean that's a better man. And there's a lot of good, honest men that might make 45,000. We got a twisted view that more money is going to mean more happiness, or and that's not true. So
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that, man. Yeah, like I said, it just, you know, we got some stuff to figure out, man. You know, even going back to the video, man, let's say when we have young ladies saying that abuse and control is the same thing, we got some stuff to figure out. we got some stuff to figure out. You want to say something, Vince?
Yes, I was waiting till you came to me. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is.
Go ahead.
I don't know how old you are, Rodney, but you and your wife, for what you're saying, you guys built together. So your value is is a team. Your value is being a father. Your value is more than just how much you make. But what's happening is that, say for instance, your wife. Say your wife graduated with that master's, started her life, had a couple kids. She's making 120. She got 2 kids. That's where the problem comes in, because say she's used to house out in West Bloomfield. She's used to a BMW. She did that on her own. She had kids on her own. So when you come in, you have to come in adding to the picture. And I know we want to say, well, the love will add to the picture, my value, but you got to understand, her life is already that. The perfect example is I have a cousin who's very big in McDonald's. Her and her husband met at U of M. They married when she went to grad, and her career skyrocketed. He's an investment banker. He has his master's too, but it's always a time in a relationship that somebody has to take the back seat. Most of the time, it's the woman because the man. But now, it could be both. It could be either one. But I asked my cousin this question, and they've been married since 24. They're 50. She makes more than him, but you would never know because she doesn't carry it that way. But I did ask her. I was like, okay, hey, cuz, say if something happened to your husband, could you make a man? Could you marry and respect the man that made 75,000? She said that she said she never thought about it, but the issue is her lifestyle is one that she's built with a certain income. And she was like, I don't know, because at the end of the day, when men are just really, they expect a man to pay the bill. They just expect it. When I go out to a restaurant, it's a fine dining restaurant. They put that bill in front of me. They just do. They put it in front of me. They don't put it in the middle. They put it in front of me. But when you have a wife that understands your value is more than that, because you guys built that together. So it's not your money, her money, it's y'all money. So if you making 30, and so if you got $30, I got $20, we got $50. It ain't your 30, my 20, it's our 50. But when you've built all that without my 20, you bought the house. You've had the kids, and that's a big part of it. You've had the kids. You have a certain lifestyle. That's really what the problem is. And I understand the woman when you've built this, you want a man to at least meet you there or have more. And that's the problem. And then those type of men want something as well, just like what your boy Kevin Samuel say. They usually want a a woman that's a little bit more supportive. They might want their own kids. I won't take care of yours. They want their own kids. So I think a lot of our problem is that we wait too long and we've built this life separated. So the value of the person is not the same. Because I'm pretty sure your wife, if you know what I'm saying, your value is father. Your value is we built it. It's like Isaiah and Joe. They built that team from the beginning. They didn't wait and then go get Kevin Durant after we've already built it. I mean, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think that's a lot of the issues that we do so much out of marriage that we're supposed to do in marriage. Then we try to fit it together after the fact, and it's hard. It's challenging. I mean, a lot of people see, and me and my wife were just talking about this. I have a lot of pictures on Facebook. Everybody think my life is but it's challenging when you have to blend families and blend kids and he might, but but when you have that together,
Well,
uh-huh.
I was just gonna to answer your question. I'm 45 years old. I wanted
Well,
to just.
hold
Oh,
on,
go ahead.
Rodney.
I'm
Hold on
sorry.
real quick. Hey Vince, when you're not talking, just mute, man. Cause I see you got some type of little background noise coming through.
It might be a heater. I'm sorry. Let me turn
That's
it
all
off.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, just mute when you're not talking, man, so it don't phase Rodney out. Go ahead,
Okay.
Rodney.
Okay, I just wanted to answer your question real quick because you asked. You said you're not sure how old. I said I'm 45 years old, and so is my wife. Um, and our story, I'll just say briefly. I agree with everything that you said. I think one thing that I have to thank my wife for is, we had these conversations before we were up on the issue. And my wife is very good at being proactive, which is not one of my strengths. I'm working to get better. So she's like, before this becomes an issue, we're going to talk about it. Um, and if my wife were hearing this conversation right now, she would say, Rodney, you are a six-figure guy because we're married. And so I know she would say that. Now, am I bringing six figures to the table? No, because I'm a musician and my income fluctuates. I have a good month and then I have a month that won't go well. But I I think that I agree with you. We were able to build something beautiful together. I think people have unrealistic views of what relationships are. It does take work, and it's my relationship is not what I post on Instagram. That's that's just what I post on Instagram. I could make myself or Facebook, whatever. I could make it look but we have to have real conversations like Rodney, you were responsible for paying this bill and you forgot. And that's a problem. So that's my wife checking me head of the household on something I didn't do, but so that doesn't make Facebook, when I post a picture of us smiling together, but those are the things that are happening, in the household. So it makes me sad because I think that I love to see, my parents are coming up on 50 years of marriage, and I'm not saying it was all roses, but they made it. And you're seeing less of it because I perform at weddings. So you see weddings, and it's funny. One thing I'll just say this, and then I'll stop talking because I want to hear other people's viewpoint. But when you see the DJ ask, okay, what couple's been married the longest? Literally watched over the years the number go down. It used to be, oh, well, they're married 61 years, 54 years. Now it's like, yep, the oldest couple, 28 years. You want to give them a round of applause for 26 years of marriage. And that's the top.
Right.
So all I'm saying is that, I think my wife has supported me in teaching, raising our sons. So we prayed about it, and I walked away from teaching to be a stay-at-home father / musician, which I would have made more money teaching and had benefits. But she saw the value in, I don't want sons that are womanizers or calling women bees or telling women what to do, talking to them like they're dogs. And that starts when they're young, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so my wife, so that when I'm talking about being proactive, it's those are the types of things that we talk about. So yeah, we took less income, and now looking back, it's like, but that was the right thing to do. You know, that I'm telling my 8-year-old, this is why you don't cheat. It's the concept of cheating, I'm just using that as an example. A 3-year-old understands it, but we got 38-year-olds that can't seem to, do it. So we talk about those things. How would you feel if your dad cheated? Those are conversations that we have. And I feel like the Black family, we're focused on a lot of other stuff. How much money do you have? What kind of purse you wearing? You got a Benz? I don't. All that kind of stuff. I mean, that's superficial, and it's just not. It doesn't last. So that's why you see people getting married for 8 months and then they're divorced. So.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. Let me get some of these comments. Let's see. Erica said, I think people compare way too much. They are not looking at the hard work it took for a family/marriage to make it. So a lot of men/women are looking for looking for what the outcome to be, what they see on social media, etc., instead of what it actually took to build, to have that lifestyle. No, that's facts right there. It's facts right there. Let's see. Kenyatta dropped a comment. She says some 6-figure men are irresponsible and cheap. So the woman may not get what she thinks she's getting, and vice versa. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna say this, Kenyatta. Some of those 6-figure men, let's say, because I done seen a couple of these guys. They're being smart with their money. That's how they look at that. So I'm gonna put that out there. Shout out to my guy Lavelle. He said agreed, but to flip it on its head, I personally know several cases where a well put together professional woman have relationships with men with less means, where the men have pride issues because it's obvious that they aren't the breadwinner. I've seen resentment because of this turn the men bitter. You know what, Lavelle, I gotta question this. And the reason I got to question this is because I also know some guys where the woman is the breadwinner in the relationship financially, and the guys are just fine. And the reason that they are just fine is because typically what will happen is some young ladies, when they are the financial breadwinner, will lord that over their men. And at the same time, some young ladies that are financial breadwinners over their men will not. So the man is still in his leadership position. The man is still respected as the leader of the household. And that is how the household runs. So we got two different scenarios. So I wonder which one of those scenarios are we looking at in this comment. Lavelle also said the money truthfully doesn't match the worth of the people or the happiness. I'd rather be struggling with a relationship with teamwork than have all the money in my relationship be superficial. That's facts. Yep, I agree with that. And he dropped an agreed as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chloe.
I think that for me, I do understand, like I understand Vince's point too. Like I do understand the point of a woman who has built a whole life, right? And she has a certain lifestyle. But here's the thing, right? Like I said before, a man's best version of himself is when he is in a relationship with a woman where he is being able to truly live in his masculine energy. And a woman's best is when she's also in a relationship and living in her feminine energy. Because, we were literally created to be relational. Like we were literally created to complement each other and be with each other. So that is the way it was intended. We weren't supposed to be alone. I mean, God even said, it is not good for man to be alone. So I understand that, only wanting to entertain a man that is at a certain level, but I guess I don't understand what happened to the together part. Like, what happened to you put yours with mine and together, right? We can have whatever we have. Like, why is it that this man has to come with this specific thing? He has to come with the six figures already. He has to come with the fancy car already. He has to come with the passport full of stamps already. Excuse me. Like, what happened to building together? Like, what happened to building? Like, we don't want to build no more. I don't
Mm-mm,
understand.
mm-mm.
I don't understand. Hey, Erica.
Because I was single for a very long time. You guys, I was single for 20 some odd years. And I think the problem that we have is men have egos. And our egos are very fragile, especially black men. And I think that also is we get caught up on money, but I think it's also when you're living in your gift and in your purpose. Because a teacher definitely is not going to make more than a doctor. But that if that's your gift and that's your purpose, then you're fine. So I think that we need to get away from the actual dollar amount and people that are actually in their gift and in their purpose. A social worker, but if that's your gift, you're called for children, you're not going to be a millionaire. You're not going to even be six figures. So I think we need to get away. And I think some of those men that are not in their gift and not in their purpose, their egos can't handle a woman that's in her gift and in her purpose and that makes a lot of money. Because as men in the world, and you know how I am, I look at things for how they are, not how we want them to be. A man is looked at as the provider. When you go anywhere, you're going to be looked at as the provider
Mm-hmm.
financially. So I think and I think we wait too long. I think we wait till after we got these fabulous careers, we got these badass kids, we got debt, we got all this, and then you bring all that to the relationship. If you're not bringing all that to the relationship, then yeah, the table is clear. You have a clear table. You can go out. Okay, I got one cup and you got one cup. Then we save a little bit. Then we get a plate and we eat off the same plate. But then when you come into the table and you got five people at that table, we can't just have one cup. We gotta
Hold
have
on, Vince.
6 cups.
Hold on, Vince. We not gonna gloss over that, man. Did you just say badass kids, man?
All of them bad. All of them bad. And I would tell you, unless you are on one accord and you on one vision, that's why a lot of these relationships are not working. We don't want to say it. It be them kids. We don't want to say it because it sound messed up and it's not really. It be them kids. And unless you are on one accord, you know, it's well, these my kids. You can't say nothing to them. Or a guy, it's challenging, and that's why a lot of these relationships last because you bring in so much into the relationship in the beginning. That's a lot. That's 80% of the problem. We're not getting each other young enough to whereas we building together. So my value is not how much I make because we built this together. You couldn't have done this without me, and I couldn't have done this without you. But if somebody feels, oh, I did this without you anyway, I'm pretty sure that your wife, Rodney, says, you know what, I couldn't have done this unless that you were my support system.
No,
So your value is more than that. But if she had already did that, or he had, you know what I'm saying? So
you're
I
exactly
think
right.
that's a lot of it.
But that's kind of like a mindset thing to me. Like I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like that sounds like a mindset shift that needs to happen, right? Like because the truth of the matter is, you still there's still what I was gonna say is there's still a quality to your life that's missing. So even though you were able to go out right and you were able to achieve some things and you had some kids and you know what I mean, the quality of your life. So you have some quantity, right? Like you have some money, you've acquired some things, but the quality of your life. If you felt complete in that space, then you wouldn't be out here looking for a person. But the fact of the matter is, you want a person. So if that's the case, then your mindset then has to shift from an I. Although I understand that's what it's been. It's got to shift from I, me to us. And what I'm seeing is a lot of people don't want to do that shift. They don't want to shift from me, I, mine to ours. I understand it was yours. I get it. But you wanted to be a we. So now we're we. It's
Yeah,
not
but
yours, I, mine anymore. And that we've lost that, right? Just because maybe you didn't build it with me doesn't mean now that we shouldn't come together. I bring what I got, you bring what you got. Now we're forced to be reckoned with. Why is it I, me? You know what I mean? Like I don't that well, I have this, so you have to match what I have. It's like if you have
I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference. With the difference is that men understand that. Men understand whatever I bring to the table, I'm gonna have to share it with my woman. We make money to give to y'all. I don't know if y'all
That
make money to give us. I mean, just keep it real. I understand if I got a Mercedes, my wife gonna have a Mercedes. But if she got a Mercedes, she not expecting for me to have a Mercedes if she got to pay for it. And most women don't. I know that we want to put this, but at the end of the day, women don't want to spend their money. Y'all just don't. It's better to live in that reality than to act like it's all going to be 50-50 and it's all going to be yours. And you can do that when you build it together. When that person feel like I couldn't have did this without you. Yeah. But if you had already got it, especially for a woman, if I already got it, if and these I was single for 20 some odd years. If a woman, to get you, they might say, okay, well, I pay my half to Jamaica and you pay your half. But they're not gonna do that too many times. Pretty soon it's gonna be like, well, if I gotta pay my way, I can just go with my girlfriends. Why I got
man,
you?
man, let me touch this, man. Let me touch this. I got a problem with this. So Erica was agreeing with Vince about the ladies not wanting to spend their money. Ladies, I got a question. Vince is accurate in these statements right here. So Vince is saying that a fella goes out, makes his money. No, don't throw them little smiley faces up here. No. So Vince is saying that the fellas go out here and make this money. They got to bring this money home and share it. Why is it that the ladies, when they go make their money, they don't want to share none of their money? What's that about?
I can't speak on that.
Somebody tell me something. I need Erica to speak on it
There you
since
go,
she over
Eric.
here.
Don't eat. You got it.
I need to understand this.
Wait a minute, especially if he's the average man. Now, if he Morris Chestnut, you might have, but he just average 5'6", a little fat, little bald.
Ooh.
He work at the plant. Come on now.
Oh my God!
Sex game ain't all that great.
Oh no, this is getting worse by the minute, man. What's going on?
Ladies, I need somebody to make it make sense. Answer this for me. Why y'all don't want to spend none of y'all money on your boo? What is up with that? So the brothers got to spend all the money. Y'all just gonna hold y'all money? Like what? I need to understand this. Some lady, Kenyatta, Erica, whoever, keep it
Where
buck.
the ladies at? They don't went quiet on us.
Yeah, they got quiet on us. They don't want to spend that money.
Oh man.
You can't make
how
this
many
shit
women
up.
were like,
You
okay,
can't make this shit up.
if you buy the hotel and the airfare, I'll pay for the Uber. Thank you. You'll pay for the Uber. Well, I've had to pay. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Here they come. They come with some comments. See, Erica said, I really don't have a clue. Selfish, I guess. It definitely doesn't make sense. But y'all still supporting it though, Erica. What's up with that? Let me go to Kenyatta. She said, geez, that's not true. I will grab the check in a heartbeat. Okay, you know what, Kenyatta?
They'll grab one. They're about grabbing the check every single time. We ain't talking about grabbing one check. Yeah, they grab one check. Would you go out with a man that was the average man and you paid every time?
Vince, now you know you gotta pay the cost to be the boss.
That's all I'm saying. I'm willing to. I don't live in these fallacies. I understand the act right that I get. And I tell my sons all the time, you see the act right I get right.
Man, shout out to the ladies. They popping up now. Let's see. Jocelyn said, I have no problem spending money on my man. Okay, so Jocelyn, so you say you have no problem, but is there a limit on how much you about to spend on your man and how frequently you about to do it? I need to understand. Let's see. Erica said, I can't pay every time. Let's see. I can't pay every time now. See what I'm
Why
saying?
Why not?
See what I'm saying? We done started something, Vince. You see how they do? Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Johnson said no limit. All right. So she said she got it all the time. Okay. All right. We appreciate you, Johnson.
Okay, I draw the line. I'm not picking up the check every time. Last cat.
Dang.
I mean, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not. She could pick it up every time. I'm not. And listen, bless her heart. Listen, hey, I'm not picking it up every time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if it's a situation where it's one of the type of situations where like something.
No. Wait.
Short,
no, it ain't if I got it. If you got it. No, it ain't if you got it. It ain't if I got it. It's I got it. If I have it. See, if I have it, well, that's after you pay the car note. Then if you got a little extra. Okay.
Let me just clarify. If like Vince said, if this was a situation where, you know, my man for real is in a tough spot, don't have it, then it's all good. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm obviously I got him, it's all good. But if we both got it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got it, I got it, then no, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you every time I'm gonna pick up every check. I would be lying to you. I'm not gonna pick up every check. But like I said, you guys to pay the cost to be the boss. So if you're the boss, then I'm not one of them women. I'm not her. I'm gonna let you be the boss. Okay? I'm not her. Okay? She's not me. I'm gonna let you be the boss. I'm trying to do what Anton said. I'm trying to rest in my femininity. I'm trying to be riding in the passenger seat of the car. Okay? I'm not her. So let me just be clear.
Oh, so you saying you just gonna sit over there and look cute? Is that what you saying?
Yeah, I'll feed you. I'll make sure you have something to eat, and I'll keep the radio. I'll roll the window down when you get a little, sleepy, so you can keep powering through. Like, I got you. But I'm not her, and she is not me. So
hey Vince, man, I know you was talking about that long range trip, man. So Chloe's saying she gonna peel the wrapper off the sandwich for you, man. Is that enough, man?
Yeah, put it off the brick. Yeah, I mean, my wife, if I'm driving and I want a piece of gum, she don't hand me the gum in the wrapper. She take it off the wrapper and hand me the gum,
right,
and put it in my mouth.
Right, because you can't be fooling with that. You're driving.
There it is. Oh man.
But see, my thing is all these lies detected. I was single from 23 to 24. Yeah, they do it in the beginning because because they want to prove, we a team and I got it. That. But after that, maybe 6 month period, she ain't coming out no real paper. She'll buy Red Lobster, but then she want me to pay for Eddie V's, which I have no problem with. But just let me know the game that I can play. So don't switch up. And then a lot of these women complaining, he don't pay no bills. Well, you said you had it. Ain't no woman gonna work hard and take. Come on now, ladies. Man, especially if y'all got kids and you out there paying for him to. Come on now, Jocelyn.
Man, but you know what it is, man. So let's say I'm saying this conversation has come up before. I know we got to get ready to get off here in a minute.
Where her boo at? Where her boo at? Tell her boo to come on. Let's see what he said.
Oh, she still dropping comments. She said, let's see, it's all in communication. And let's be clear, I'm not a sugar mama. I want a man to play his part, but I'm not stingy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, like I said, it's let's say, just to respond to you, Vince, it do be a little cap in there. Because I see the ladies step out. and they step out, and the ladies, they over here at Fridays. They over here at what's the other little restaurants out here, Bennigan's and whoever else out here. Then the fella come along and they ready to go to Eddie V's. They ready to go to Ocean Prime. They ready to go to Morton's and Eddie Merlot's and everywhere else when the fella paying. So ladies, I'm watching y'all. Y'all slick with that. I'm watching that. But man, go ahead, Rodney. We're gonna get ready to take some closing, brother. Go ahead.
I mean, I think that communication has to take place where you gotta be real with where you are financially. Like, if my wife wasn't like that, but let's just say she was, where she did the switch up that you just described, we just have to just be real with, like, that's not where I'm at right now. So I'm not even gonna lie to you and act like I can drop $200 for dinner and drinks. Let's see what we can build and work together. And I think, again, I think social media makes this worse. So if I took my wife out to Ruth Chris and here I am taking pictures of what we had and our drinks and stuff, and people are like, oh, that's so cute, you all look great together, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? That feeds. Now I can't then go the next day and take a picture at McDonald's. Say, that's, here's my egg McMuffin or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So
for sure.
I really think that social media is feeding what, because if I'm seeing, oh dang, here Vince is, they just took a cruise. Didn't they just get back from Paris? Now he's driving a Mercedes Benz. Dang, I'm and guys do have frail egos. I'm not gonna. I have to be honest with you all. When my wife and I were dating, I mean, I knew she made more than me. I'm not gonna. I mean, it crossed my mind. I'm like, okay, you step into the table with a little bit more than what I can bring right now. I mean, I think that's only natural of a guy, but you just got to be honest. Like, if that was my situation and a woman tried to switch up and try to go to all these expensive restaurants and act like be paying, dropping $250, dropping $200 for dinner,
Yeah, no, I understand, man. I understand. Like I said, you got to be upfront with those things. So let's see, you're definitely right with that. Well, man, we're gonna do some closing. I said we at that 10 o'clock mark. So I'm just gonna work my way around. Let's say then we get ready to wrap. So I'm gonna go to the ladies first. Chloe, you got anything you want to say in closing before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say for this conversation and anything around this conversation, we start talking about what a man, financially brings to the table. Even when we're talking about women, what she's bringing to the table. We start to talk about submission, when we start to talk about, is a man trying to be controlling? Is this a toxic relationship or things like that? I really just want us to first, before we make that determination, to look at ourselves. Because I think we spend way too much time critiquing other people when we still haven't done the work, right? Some of this attitude that we give each other is trauma. We're literally operating from trauma response. It could be past relationships. It could be things that happened in our past with family. It could be all kinds of different things. And if we haven't taken the time to actually address those things in our lives so we can move past them, then we're just carrying them along with us. And anytime, a man even appears to look like he maybe not, could be, possibly trigger any one of those, marks for us, or trigger one of those feelings or old memories or anything like that, then we just start to project. And really it's because we haven't done the work ourselves. The fact of the matter is, who wants to be in a relationship with any person, man or woman, who makes, 6 figures plus, but has a bad attitude, is, unstable, not healed, all of the above? Who wants to be in that relationship? So I think that our priorities are just not in order. And I feel like we have to get that in order, because that money is not going to do you any good when that person is not right for you. And I think that we have to get back to looking at it, like Vince said, as and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but basically it's a community effort, right? The issues of Black man's issues are a Black woman's issues. We share the same issues. It's not you against me and me against you. We need to get back to community thought, like we, us. What is in the best interest of our community, right? Because nobody's gonna help us but us, outside of God, of course. So, but we have to still, even then, we have to come in agreement with Him, and we can't be divided. So it's just I just feel like let's start with ourselves, because you're not always going to be able to change all of the people around you, but you can change your mindset. And you never know, changing your mindset might actually make the difference. So
Facts. We're gonna go over to Rodney real quick. You got anything you want to say in closing, Rodney, before we get out of here, man?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to all the 5-figure brothers out there. We holding it down. So hey, look, I gotta just be real. I'm 5 figures and proud. So I'll just start off by saying that. And then I think that what Chloe's saying, I think we really need to find. We need to choose our spouses and the people that we date very wisely. That's a very big decision. We need to stop. We need to have real relationships, and it's hard to. This is hard to say in this day and age because there's so much fakeness out there. But real people, real relationships. Stop believing so-and-so's relationship on Facebook is perfect, because it's not. It's just not. No one's relationship is like that. I think we need to look for substance and not material goods. BMWs and big houses and all that. I drove my son through a neighborhood one time, and I said, I bet we have more money than some of these people in these mansions.
Sure.
Because they could be house poor. We have furniture in all our rooms. You never know what. And I did that. I'm not, so I could show them that just because they're in this $1.2 million home doesn't mean they are wealthy. And I think the same thing could be said with relationships in the Black community. I think there needs to be more teaching to children as far as because Instagram is teaching a lot of our children financial literacy, and what that's going to lead to. So I don't have to have a Roth. I can just go on and spread $1,500 bills on Instagram Live. You know what I'm saying? And that's telling my community that I'm wealthy. So, and then I guess the last thing that I would say is really just making sure that you're very honest with the people that you're dealing with. So, if I came at my wife like I'm this big baller, knowing I'm recently unemployed and, and I'm trying to live beyond my means, knowing that that's just a lie, then when it's time, when we move on in the relationship, she finds out, well, why are you asking me to pay for this when you acted at the beginning of the relationship? You were, big baller, so we just need to be honest with what we have, value real people who are real, people that are going to support what we do. And then I think it goes both ways. We also need to support our spouses. So.
Facts. And I agree with that. Let me go over to Vince. Vince, you still there, man?
Yes, sir.
You want to say in closing, brother?
I just want to say that I say a lot of things that just to make the conversation a little lighter, have a few jokes. You know how I get. But I also want to say that we must be intentional. There's levels to everything. And I'm glad that Rodney came on, because just his presence seems like he's a very loving man. And that's what your wife probably seen in you, that you would be an excellent partner, a beautiful father. You just give that. And I think if we look at people's character and judge people based on their character, then we would do a lot better as far as these relationships, because there's levels. I have friends that's millionaires, but I'm fine exactly where I am. I'm not trying to be where they are. They're not trying. I know people that got less, and I know people that got more. It's about being comfortable in where you are. You understand? Right. And understanding that you're having a partner where y'all on the same lift and you want the same things and you're willing to work for it. So, as I just said again, just your character is the thing that matters.
Facts. No, I agree with that, man. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'll just say this, man, and we'll get ready to get out of here. Just to the ladies. I know some of these things can be triggering. I know some of these topics can hit a sore spot for you. But let me just say this: all these fellas that's out here, they're not out here trying to control you. Yep, there is a wave that is taking place right now where fellas are stepping up to the plate, getting their act together, and ready to take their positions. Yep, I'm going to say this to the ladies. Ladies, I need y'all to work with these fellas trying to turn the corner. Yep, all of this friction we got going on, all this bucking and doing and competing and all of this, we got to put this stuff to the side. Yeah, we're not here to compete with each other. We're here to support each other. Yep, and I don't want the ladies who see this show or watch this show or follow our content to miss out on what was meant for them. Yeah, we are so caught up in these labels of this toxic masculinity, this emotional intelligence lacking, this he don't make enough, he too short, he ain't well endowed enough, all this stuff that we doing, all this shallow material stuff that we stuck on. And this is why a lot of us are single. This is why a lot of us have not been able to find somebody that we can partner with or somebody that we can get with and build. Yeah, I'm gonna use Rodney as an example. I'm gonna use his wife as an example. Yep, just listening to that story, she saw past all the BS. Yeah, she was looking at the foundation. She was looking at the core. She was looking at what is going to be sustainable. Yeah, that's one thing that we've lost sight of. We don't consider sustainability anymore. Yeah, we doing all this YOLO, all of this just living today, just throw it in the bag, this whole mindset. We got to get back to focusing on sustainability. We got to get back to considering long term. Yeah, I know today is not promised, but there's still people depending on you that are going to be here when you're not here. Yeah, so we got to consider long term. We got to consider long term when we get into these relationships. Yeah, but everything is not a man trying to control a woman. It could be a man trying to lead a woman. It could be a man trying to set the foundation for a solid family. Yeah, but like I said, those are the things that we got to get back to paying attention to. Like I said, I know everybody's stuck on this money right now. Ladies saying that they can't mess with, a man that don't make six figures. Yeah, but the man that's meant for you may not be making six figures, ladies. Yeah, so we really got to think about that. Yeah, we really got to think about that. Yeah, but then the last thing I'll say before we get out of here is to my ladies, to the ladies who are watching this show or that will watch this show. While you were saying that you require these things from men, you looking for this, you got to have this, you got to have that before you'll even entertain him. I want y'all ladies to make sure that y'all are actually bringing what you say that you require. Yeah, if you got expectations for these men out here, Trust and believe. If he's a solid man, a man that's about his business, a man that's on his purpose, he got expectations for you as well. So, man, shout out to all of the ladies and gentlemen who joined us tonight. Appreciate everybody rocking with us. Shout out to my guy Lavelle. Shout out to Erica Arrington for checking in. Shout out to Jocelyn Dennis. Shout out to Kenyatta Myrick. Shout out to my guy Donovan as well. Let's appreciate you guys always rocking with the platform. Shout out to our panelists, Chloe, Rodney, Vince. Like I said, we're trying to get to as many of our people as possible. Like I said, we're trying to have these conversations to hash out some of these issues that we have in the community. Like I said, and ultimately help us to change our trajectories. Yeah, the way we're doing things right now, it's not getting us where we could be. Yeah, so we really got to step back and look at ourselves and what we're doing and hold ourselves accountable so that we can turn this corner and make some progress. But man, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. Like I said, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. So definitely go over to YouTube, drop a subscribe on the Kandid Konvos page. We appreciate you as always. Man, hit that share button, hit that like button, share out the show, spread the word. And I said, we want as many people as we can get on the platform. Old, young, experienced, unexperienced, females, males, it don't matter. We want everybody on the platform so we can have these conversations. And man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. And we will catch you guys next Wednesday.